Please sit down. Răzvan, this is your book, and you're the Romanian winner of the European Prize for Literature. Can you just talk to us a little bit about the influence of Romania, how coming from that country and that culture might have shaped your writing?
Well, it's a very simple fact for me. I cannot write in any other language, and in fact, that made me try to understand the Romanian language, let's say, so well that would allow me to feed from its resources for as long as possible. If you want, this is the only form of patriotism I condone, and I also condone for myself that I don't know very well if I love my country, but I certainly do know that I love very well my language. So this is how it goes for me. I think that the Romanian literature is it's a beautiful one, even if all memories I have of it tend to be melancholic, let's say. There are books, of course, that I read a lot from the last century. I know that some of them were not translated, some of them are probably difficultly translatable because they also appeal to the deep resources of the language. And this is what I enjoy. Yeah.
Lovely. Very nice. Teodosie cel Mic has just won the European Union Prize for Literature for Romania. How do you think that winning that prize will change things for you and for your writing?
Will probably provide the only opportunity I might have hoped for that this book can be translated. It's just as simple as that. In fact, it was my major joy. The moment where I found out that I happened to be the winner, I said, okay, so the prize is what? And then I found out what is this prize about, and I said, well, this is indeed the right thing to do it. Otherwise, you know, I don't know, a trophy just alone, it's a difficult thing to carry on a plane. Money is something that you spend in seconds if you, do your best.
Yes, yes.
And, but having your books printed, translated and printed in, let's say, languages of a much bigger circulation is indeed a unique opportunity. I don't think this happens so often.
No, no, you're absolutely right. And what do you think the impact might be, or how do you think that will feel when you see your book translated and reaching a wider audience in Europe and also beyond Europe?
Well, I have to see it first translated as a control freak. Besides, as I understood, it will be translated in English, in French, probably. French, I know very well. I also read a lot of English, and besides, I can understand, let's say, when translation, I don't know if it's good or not, but at least restitutes what were the secret nerves of the book.
Yes.
So as a control freak, I will have to see the translations first.
But it must be a very exciting time.
Oh yeah, that will be a very exciting time.
Yeah, yeah, fabulous.
Look at the translation.
And so when you're putting your books together, when you're actually physically writing them, where do you do that? Where do you actually write?
Right question is, in fact, with what kind of tools I do that. So I write mainly in two ways, because I write mainly two types of written text. One is, let's say, more like related to traditional type of literature, literature which finds immediately a reader once published in a volume, or let's say if it's an essay or an article, it finds immediately a reader once published in the newspaper or in the magazine. And for that I use like a stylo. How do you call it? A pen.
Pen.
I use a pen.
A good old-fashioned pen.
An ink pen and like regular A4 papers.
Yes.
When I write scripts, and I write of those a lot, I use a computer, the final draft program, and I cannot do it otherwise. In the first case, after writing my little tome of A4 papers, I transcribe that, of course, in the computer. And this is, let's say, during the process, many things get lost or get transformed and things like this. And this, in fact, determines the place. When I write novels, I sit at the table. When I write scripts, I sit in bed. This is how it goes.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Now that you've won the European Union Prize for Literature, what's next for you? What do you do next?
Well, I will continue to write scripts. It's is something that I like a lot to do, and I take a lot of pleasure to do it. It's also very funny because it's a work that involves a lot of communication and a lot of direct consideration of your audience, because your audience is not going to be, let's say, the final audience. Your audience is going to be an audience of professionals who care a little less about, in fact, the quality, the stylistic quality of what you write, even if I try to do my best stylistically. Sure. They care, in fact, about the efficiency of the information you convey, and they can use in order to set up decoration, to if they are actors, to understand how they should approach a line, or if they are directors, to understand the distance of a camera, or how can they cut. Of course, there is not only one way, there are many ways, but somehow they are all suggested in the way you write. You can really influence all these things, and this I like a lot. On the other hand, the prize reminded me that this is how I started as a novel writer, and I felt a bit ashamed that there are probably like 5 years now since I keep writing scarcely on a project, and the project, I knew it from the beginning, is going to take a very, very long while. In fact, if you want, I can tell you what the project is about. Maybe you thought about asking me that, maybe not. But
I think we should save it till we read it.
No, I tell you very simple.
Okay.
It's called How Much Do I Cost? And in fact, is a book which takes, let's say, goes through my life from the beginning, and in fact calculates how much money I costed while advancing through my present age, or to the age I will have at the moment where I finish my book. And I have a very good material to do that. My mother wrote everything down.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
Like some sort of a shelf full of notebooks, like from milk, tomatoes, panties, I don't know, like underwear, everything is there. And,
excellent.
Yeah, and also later, I mean, for instance, the money they paid my private teachers in French.
Yes, yes.
Like, very nice.
Very interesting, and I hope that you can sell many more copies of your book, and that will change the balance of your cost of your life, take a little bit back.
Yeah, I can subtract from the general cost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Also, a pleasure for me.